Right, starting part two of the engine swap here. Where we're at with the removal, where we just got the starter to come out and the bell housing off the transmission, and then we can just lift that sucker out. We just need to figure out the mounting locations for the chains we've got, and then we should be good to go. Where we're at, that leaves me tinkering the background. So like stuff that's all these small things like this lightweight alternator pulley. Like this one here is aluminum and only weighs like maybe like 3 ounces. The metal one that's stock weighs like 7 or 8 ounces. But like just stuff like that that's difficult to get to, or it takes a couple hours to install or go back to stock. Just simple, like it's just things like that. I'm just returning back to stock to set aside money for the next car. Corvette. Oh, I got a nasty cold here. So yeah, I'll end up having a bunch of stuff for sale. I'll just be posting the stuff in the classifieds. I don't think you can even use YouTube for monetize for like, advertising your own stuff like this. I have no idea. But yeah, so like the alternator pulley be for sale. I somehow ended up with two idler pulleys. I know that you can see this here. You can replace the redundant idler pulley, like the tensioner, with that there. You just uninstall the tensioner, slide that into place where there's a gap, and that's the best way I can describe it. It just slides right in there, and you install that bracket over it. And that bracket holds like the power steering pump and alternator in place, I believe. But yeah, so I did the idler pulley delete, which left me one of these, and then I believe I mistook that black piece there for a power steering pulley, which I can't even remove if I even wanted to. You need like the four pronged pulley set to get that off. Like it looks like the claw, and it just if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it just like clamps over place, and you put the bolt through, and yeah, it comes out that way. This one was a whole lot easier. You just have an impact, a 24 millimeter socket, and you just hold it. I just wore this glove here, and it comes right out. It was super easy. So yeah, I'll just gradually like return it to stock, sell off some of this stuff, set aside that money for the next car, which, as far as I know, is what will it be? It's a total mystery. So yeah, I'll keep it posted with updates and follow up later. All right, and good news: the engine is out. So if we were ditching the AC, we could have either got the pump to dispose of the coolant or the freon properly, or damage the environment, whatever. And then like then we could remove all the hard lines. That's the reason why the condenser's still on and the front core support is here. Other like we could have just swung the motor out, but as it is, we unbolted everything and found that I had actually disconnected all of everything, all the grounds and everything. There was nothing attached. We just had an issue yanking the engine off. I think the bell housing was resting on the clutch itself, which is probably the toughest part of removing the engine. Um, but yeah, everything else looks good. Um, Here's the engine itself. So the plan is to get the used engine home next weekend and start working on it. But let's see. If you're curious on the mounting points we chose, there's two big bolts in the front timing cover. This is like a 19 millimeter. I think it was like, yeah, that's like 10 or 12 millimeters thick. that was a great mounting point. We felt super confident about that one. And then for the rear, because we couldn't, the bell housing was resting on the clutch, so we couldn't separate it enough to get bolts through to the block here. We disconnected on this engine. It's the Z1 had installed the Pathfinder cooling mod, so we disconnected that. That's the piping right here. So this is basically, oh yeah, this thermostat is up. So it would fit in like this. So I can't remember what it looks like on a stock motor, but basically we took that off. And this is the idea that Rocco had. This is all credit for this idea goes to Rocco. Chain link for the top two bolts, chain link to bottom bolts. So like those studs, yeah, they came out pretty easy. Link it together, chain. Use the intake manifold to store stuff. That's always a good idea. And yeah, and then we sent it. But yeah, probably the hardest part was between like the mounting points, driving to Lowe's twice. It's 20 minutes away. We spent like 10 hours on the project yesterday, but it included like break times, horsing around, 2 trips to Lowe's, which is 20 minutes away. And probably a couple wasted hours on removing the Tomei header. We were able to get the passenger side off. That wasn't too difficult. I realized that would give us a ton more space just because of the equal length design of it. Like you see how far it sticks out. Like that's a ton of clearance that it gave us. We weren't able to get the passenger side off. That would have, or the driver's side off rather. Because what happened was we got every single screw off, but there's one at the back, and whoever installed the headers, they sent it with an impact or something. That, or they did install it correctly, and maybe the heat from the, I'm giving the installer the benefit of the doubt, and just thinking maybe the heat, I don't know, seems unlikely to me, but whatever. It is what it is. We have to destroy the bolt now because what happened is we stripped the head off the stud, and the bolt itself, we're warping the like I pulled hard enough on it to actually warp the like shape of the bolt, or the screw rather. It's not moving. It needs to be cut off. We're just gonna destroy it, and then we can get the headers for, my videos aren't for sale posts, but yeah, I will be posting these for sale on my Facebook page. I think I may have an interested buyer, so please don't spam me. Yeah, I need to clean these up. I could get started cleaning this one up. Yeah, I got some Neverdol. I'll just hit it with that. And also try and actually use it to polish the metal. Yeah, so we're going to try and get the engine home next weekend. And on the new used motor, rip the front timing cover off, replace all the gaskets we can, like the old galley gaskets, and there's like front and rear engine like timing cover seals that need to be done when the timing cover's off. Like if you take the cover, like timing cover off, you have to replace those seals. We're just going to go around replacing all of everything we can, because I know that once you replace all the gaskets, oil pressure will be sitting at 30 psi at idle, which is awesome. Like I can, when I ultimately sell this car, our beloved Zeddy, it'll be a sad day. But yeah, I'll be like, look, it's running smooth, it's reliable. I mean, it's less unreliable than other Z's. That'll be its selling point. But yeah, for the time being, I'm gonna end up with like a ton of extra parts. I got like extra belts. I got these are new valve covers, but we're just gonna order a whole kit. I don't know. I don't think I'll actually need those valve covers. We'll rip the motor apart if it's got oil in the spark plug galleys. You can't, like some people do, you can like seal the gaskets are integrated onto the valve covers. So technically it's non-serviceable. But I have heard of owners that have like used like RTV or whatever gasket maker to seal them up, and they seem to be just fine. You can change the valve cover like that goes around the block. You can change the valve cover gasket. It's just that there's no gaskets for the oil galleys like sold separately. So yeah, I'll get to work and get this mess cleaned up. We pulled the motor last night, and when we took off the Pathfinder cooling mod, it just started raining coolant everywhere, and I tried to brush it with the broom, just sweep it down into the driveway because we had like fans and lights going, and I didn't want the coolant hitting into any of our cords. All right, well, I'll post this video and follow up in a week or two on this build. If you like my videos, find them informative, feel free to, share your thoughts on it. I'm open to, constructive criticism. I don't mind. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, everyone. Later.